So to begin, my name is Mabea Musa Mabea. On a normal day, I do support Arsenal. I'm an Arsenal fan, an ardent Arsenal fan actually. But today I believe for the purposes of this meeting, we are converging here to analyze the Man City and Liverpool match. So I have to take a side. For me, I think I take Liverpool for the reason that I'm bitter at Man City for the recent past. They've disappointed us. So I believe today it could be payback for them. So that's it.
Payback. What do you mean payback?
What I mean payback is that they're having a season in which we are happy to see Man City conceding so many goals. You know, when you look at Man City in the past 2 or 3 seasons, they have been very solid. It was a team you were praying, wondering which team is gonna disappoint this team. But now they are vulnerable and they are meeting a Liverpool team that is not so strong the way it should be. So they be seeking to redeem themselves today. And for me, my support is on Liverpool. 4 goals to 1.
4 goals to 1. Okay, that's fair enough. And so that is Musa, an Arsenal fan supporting Liverpool. Dominic, can you hear me? I think Dominic joined with audio and is not really. So, and we also have Gilbert, just for you, Musa, to maybe to know him. He's one of us, and maybe he can introduce himself to you.
Yeah, my name is Gilbert, Manchester United supporter.
And a hardened one. First generation. Yeah, and so guys, I know I don't have my audio and my visual on, and so I'll sort it as we continue. And so here is the big match. Welcome, Dominic. How are you? Dominic is on and off. He's shy of camera. And so, yeah, like I was saying, now today is one of the days where we're going to see 2 of the most, can I say the top teams? Because as it stands, it's either Manchester City or Liverpool. And so they're meeting, but they're meeting under different circumstances as compared to what we saw last season. Because last season, we did not have the COVID, we did not have the injuries we are seeing right now. And so it is going to be a different team setup altogether. And I don't know who is the favorite for this, Gilbert?
In my opinion, there's no favorite. All teams are well balanced. It's still early days in the season. No team has mastered any good run of form. All teams are shaky. You may get the teams that started off well during the seasons, like Aston Villa, Leicester, Leeds, are now having different results than they had when the season started. So when the season is still starting, based on the issues we are currently facing, no fans in the stadium, COVID issues, some players getting off. It's an evenly balanced game. The team that will turn up is the one that will win. So there are no favorites. Still way too early.
Musa, you said you're supporting Liverpool for this game. What makes you think Liverpool is gonna win?
For me, I think for the start of this season, there have been so much frustrations in form of injuries for both teams. You see, for instance, Man City, their pointsman Aguero, he hasn't been there this season. and they haven't been scoring so many goals the way they were scoring last season at this stage. Actually, they have conceded so many goals that now their goal difference is just one. When you look on the other side, Liverpool, of course, they have been conceding so many goals. We do understand they do not have their best defender. Van Dijk is not in the match, but they're scoring more at the same time. So there is this consistency that both teams are conceding, but then Liverpool is scoring more than they're conceding. They're scoring more than Man City. So today each team is gonna concede today. But what I believe is Liverpool is going to score more than Man City because Man City does not have their game changer. Aguero is not in the match. He turns up for the big matches, but he's not there today. So I expect Liverpool to come on top today. They're my favorite.
Okay. And the next question goes to Gilbert. Going with the last match involving these two teams, Manchester City won this match 4-0. How does that affect today's game? Is it going to give it any bearing going into this game?
I don't think it will give it any bearing because the last match they won 4-0. Liverpool had already wrapped up the season. They were already on their way to be champions. As we had talked some time earlier on WhatsApp, this game is just a game between two previous Premier League holders. At this moment in time, it will have no bearing on the title, as it were, because we are like we played less than 8 games, I think. So it is way too early for this game to have any significance on the title race. If you look at the points tally, if either team wins, it won't have beaten the other team by a very big margin. But it will be a marker. This is a game that can push either of the teams on a great run. It's a game that can boost the confidence of the players. It's a game that can give the team that wins morale. Beating a title contender goes a long way to determine how your season will go if you handle the results that you get after that match well. So both teams have had issues in terms of Man City, their defense. They've gotten in 2 guys. Diaz has come in. Ake came in from Bournemouth. Diaz seems like will be the partner to Joan Laporte. Their fullbacks, Mendy is a bit shaky. He's been having challenges nailing down a spot. He's not been consistent as he was previously. So that's a pain point for Man City. Again, they're striking. Aguero is injured, but from time immemorial, Aguero's time in the top flight at Man City has basically come to an end. For a striker, when you get past 30, your legs start giving way. You cannot play like 10, 15, or 20 games a season. Injuries start coming in. They tried to replace him with Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus is not to the level of Aguero. And as last season was ending, you saw they were scoring many goals, but Aguero was injured at that time. So the goals were being shared between Silva, this England guy, I've forgotten his name. So I don't think Aguero's absence will have any major big impact on this team, because as of last season, even when they were going on the run in Champions League, Aguero was not there. Manchester City don't normally play with a contact person per se. They are not dependent on one contact person as a striker. Much as is the same with Liverpool. So it will be an evenly balanced game. It will be a cagey affair because no one wants to commit that much. It's not a do or die game. If you win, you lose the title, or if you don't, it could be a drab affair from where I stand. On Liverpool side, Van Dijk is out injured. They have had issues with their defense. I think Matip is fit and can play today. The other issue is their striking position. There's been an argument about Firmino and Diogo Jota. Diogo Jota has come in and turned the tables on that attacking side. The Champions League game against Atlanta, he scored a hat-trick. I don't think Firmino in his career in Liverpool has ever scored a hat-trick. I know Klopp has been talking to the media about he's not looking forward to dropping Firmino, but I think that's just a manager trying to encourage his player. But for a forward, much as you bring other players into the game or your hold-up play is good, you have to contribute to the goals. And if you have someone like Jota, who every time he comes from the bench, he delivers, your number is up on the line. So that's the key decision I'm expecting to see Klopp make, the decision of whether to start Jota or Firmino. But all in all, I expect a draw. Don't think it will be a very high intensity affair.
You expect a draw. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Musa, now that you Gilbert has talked about Klopp coming out and saying that he will go with Firmino in favor of Jota. How do you rate these two players?
What I think on the issue of Jota, the purpose for which Klopp bought Jota was not for him to be a starting number 9 in his team. When we're looking at the season, during the transfer period, there was some speculation that either Salah or Mane, one of them would leave the team. So Jota coming in, he just came in for the reason that he was anticipating if a player could be sold, then he could cover up the number. Firmino was there in the season. He's in the Liverpool league winning team. He started almost all the matches for last season. Klopp has not changed his system of play from last season. Yes, we could say Jota has had a good start for the team. But what I believe is that Firmino's style of play and the player for Liverpool, he still fits in the system of Klopp. Jota could be that, could be a little striker. He could be scoring so many goals at the moment, but I don't think he's going to dispose Firmino of his number. Perhaps maybe could start in some domestic cups like FA Cup, Community Shield. No, not Community Shield. All the other cups, even Champions League, you could earn a startup. But in the Premier League, Firmino's number is untouchable. His position starting up is untouchable, and he's going to start today. However, we expect that maybe in the 60th minute, he could get that substitution. But he's not the starting striker for Klopp.
So there are people arguing that Jota is one guy who can really influence a game when he comes in as a substitute. And others also say that he is one guy, comparing him with Firmino. Firmino is one guy that is known for his link-up play with Salah and Mane, so that he brings them in, he exposes their strengths, the strengths of those two guys. And so going with what we are seeing right now, and Jota, of course, is the player who is in form right now, regardless of where he starts from and where he ends up in. Do you see a situation where Klopp starting with Firmino just to see how the game goes. Maybe if the game is not really producing, is not productive as expected, and then he will throw in Jota. Is that the case we're going to experience?
Jota is going to get some playing minutes just for the sake, because he had a wonderful run, but he's not going to have those minutes because it is not dependent on Firmino's performance. Whether Firmino performs or does not perform, but Jota is going to get some minutes. That is the plan for Knopf today, because he has had this magic run. Let me call it magic, because we do not know where it could end. So he's going to get some minutes today so that we can test him what he can do against big teams. Firmino systematically is not that player we call a traditional number 9. He's not a Lewandowski. He's not an Aguero. But these are player I could say is a Giroud. These are a team player, a player who can withstand the pressure upfield to hold the ball so that the other players can come in. Because you see, in the last 2 seasons, he's been consistent in the team. But you find Mane and Salah, they're the top scorers in the team, while he's the number 9. He does not have any assist. He does not have any goal scoring. But what he does for the team is that he is an celebrated hero. These are those people who sit back at the back. They do not take the limelight. But when you just sit down and look at the system of play, how they play the game, the link up, the whatever, you see these are crucial team player that Klopp would not want to lose or to have on the bench.
Okay.
So for today, Firmino is going to start. Jota is going to get some minutes just for the sake.
Just for the sake. And okay, if you ask me, I'll honestly tell you that I rate Jota right now. Because, you know, this is a guy who was playing for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and many people could not see what he was doing. And he's coming into a Liverpool team that is full of stars and is able to, you know, announce himself on a higher stage. And I think he's a guy who is not really rated, but he's a guy who's got talent. And I think time will tell. For me, I know Jota is one guy who can really fight, and he's young. He has everything that is needed in English football. And I don't know. Gilbert.
Yes.
Where do you see Jota?
He's proven himself. Any player coming into a team, basically you have to prove yourself. The number of times he's been given to come in as a substitute, he's delivered. He started a game against Atlanta, he scored a hat-trick. So the ball is now on the court of Klopp. Play me, I deliver. Play Firmino, he plays his hold-up game and bring others into play. So it depends with what you want as a coach. Because there's nothing much a player can do. If you give a player time and he delivers, he's basically telling you, start me and I deliver. But the question you need to be asking ourselves is, does Jota's game, apart from his clinicalness in front of goal, can he play the role that Firmino plays in addition? Because at the moment, Firmino has a weakness. His hold-up play and bringing other players into the team is good. But his delivery is wanting. If I can maybe draw parallels to another system that I saw playing the same, Barcelona side. At the time Barcelona was playing a front three of Neymar, Messi, and Suarez. Messi was not playing as a number 9. He was playing basically as a false 9. He's good at bringing other players into the game. He's good at hold-up play. He's good at link-up play. But he was also delivering the numbers in terms of goal. If Jota can do that, if he can marshal a good hold-up play, a good if he could fit his game into the system that Firmino plays and still deliver in terms of goal, Firmino's number is up. But if he's only good at scoring and he can't play the system that Klopp plays, then he'll be starting from the bench.
Okay.
So the ball is in Klopp's court.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
guys,
Now let me bring in the innocent. I see you back.
yeah,
I got a question for you.
I've not introduced myself, bro. So I go on.
Yeah, introduce yourself.
So first, let me thank you guys for hosting me today. And I've seen new faces. That is Musa. We have Gilbert, and myself, and also Steve, of which I'm very conversant about. I'm a Liverpool fan, and as you're aware, we are doing very well. And we're hoping that despite the challenges we are having here and there, we are still doing well. And then from there, you can ask me a question.
Yeah, my question is,
Yeah.
going with the last game you played against Man City, you lost 4-0.
Yes.
How does that affect today's game?
First, let me say that we may borrow from what happened last time, but today we are going in with a good mindset. And I've seen that previously from the bad game we had with the Aston Villa, we have gone a winning streak of about 4 games. We know Etihad is not a place to go and joke around with, despite the technical challenges we have in terms of defense. But I want to look at our probable lineup. Remember that the team that played there, we're having new faces from the academy. And also we have, I don't want to call him a goal machine, but someone who's bringing a new face to the team, that is Jota, of which I expect Firmino to play at some point because of his holding capabilities. But at the end of the day, Liverpool needs to score goals, not to beautify the game. If you look what Klopp is doing currently is that we need goals and we need to win matches. Unlike previously, we could grind games and win with a margin of maybe 1 or 2 goals. We need people who can score, and that is what Firmino brings on. And the good thing is actually Alisson is back. It's not badly off. There are those technical balls that he clears, unlike Adrian. And of course, we have the young boys who are playing at the back, who are ball hungry. And I'm expecting a very good encounter at Etihad. That's what I can say.
Okay. And so another question for you, just because you joined us late,
Yes.
we were talking about Jota against Firmino. Who do you think has a stake to start in this game?
For me, I'll go for Jota.
Why?
And I'm not saying, let me give my reasons why. We know that there's some critical runs in the box, and the way Jota opens defenses is one guy you can give a ball and he knows what to do with it. That's the good striking finisher. Firmino is a good also ball holder, but he doesn't score quite often. The thing has been he looks for Mane and he looks for where Salah is. What Jota doesn't. Actually, Jota is standing there making Salah and the Mane to look for him where he is. And you can even see from our left back and right back, even from the midfield, they want to give Jota the ball because they have got some certainty and assurance that this guy will score. All of them are good, but when we give a bit higher, even the players right now, they have trust for Jota because they know this guy, if we supply him in the ball, within the box, he will score. Firmino may hold that ball and the pass. Right now, we don't want passes at Etihad. We want goals. Yes.
So how confident?
How confident?
How confident are you going into this game?
The game.
Into this match.
In terms of what?
How confident are you? Confident that you're gonna win it, or What is your feeling?
My feeling, this game, we are going to win it. But this game will be won on the errors. If you look at Manchester City in the past 5 games, those guys have been very tight. They don't really concede as quite often. They grieve results from maybe 1-0, 2-0, 2-1. And this is the kind of tactic Pep Guardiola is going to employ that frustrate them, and then score the last minute. And the Klopp is very well, he knows how to unlock these defenses. What we need is to score early. If we don't score first half, it's going to be very hard for us because I think Laporte is back, Diaz is there, Cancelo is there. We have the likes of Carl Walker. This guy is in the actually in the form of his life. So what we need is someone who's going to frustrate them. That's why we bring in the new face. That is Jota. Jota is not a new guy in the Premier League. He has been with the Wolves, and we know what he can do. So definitely this game, I give it a margin of maybe 3-2.
3-2 in favor of Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Wow. Okay. That is something.
Because the reason why I'm saying that is that Pep himself want to score, and these two teams actually they're battling for the big trophy, and they want to have goals. So and if you look at Liverpool, we have been conceding terribly. That's why I say we are going to concede. And even though it's not like last season, even when we lost to Aston Villa 7-2, Van Dijk was playing. So the absence of him doesn't change anything. But if I was myself, I don't want Matip to start. If Williams could start versus Gomez at our center backs, I think that one will do well because Matip is coming in and he has been in injury, and that could not be good because even the speed of Sterling and the likes of Mahrez, he can't really pace. But if we have a young guy full of energy, he can really, we need a monster who can just control these guys. And when you look at our previous game we played, this guy really showed that he can pace up. But if we start with Gomez and Matip, I think chances are there we could concede, and that is going to strain our back front. So if Man City scores, we score. That's the tactic. The one actually, the game will be won by who is going to outscore the other. Yes.
So, what do you think is Manchester City's biggest weakness going into this game? Because, of course, both teams are going into this game with a lot of, let me say, a lot of injuries to their key players. Talk about Aguero, still out. Others with you, I think you have Van Dijk, or Fabinho, and I don't know who else is that. And so, kind of, the two teams are missing, their key players. And I'm looking at a situation where Liverpool are going to go with people like Curtis Jones. Do you think he's a guy who can produce the goods for Liverpool?
Curtin Jones has proven that he's an academy player who stands for these big matches. But when I look at the midfield for Manchester City, actually there is a lot of experience there, and I expect the likes of Mahrez to start there. And also they have a very good guy who is Torres. You've seen how this guy has been playing, and they expect him to start. What I could say, the weakness for Manchester City actually is if we try to use good fullbacks and we try to be able to cross in those killer passes, chances are at the box. Normally, the clearance is a bit slow, and if you have someone who can push them, I think their defense, even though it has been very clinical, but today they're facing Liverpool, a team with a new approach, and they know very well that they were hurt last season where they lost 4-0. They're going there with a good approach. So what I could say is actually tentatively, the game will be won on the defenses. So if a critical error is made from Man City, of which when you have a guy like Jota, you should not make an error at the defense. Actually, you have to clear the ball. So because the guy can score from both feet. So I think their center backs have to be very critical. I don't know how fit is Laporte playing today.
Okay, the team news is not yet out. Hopefully so. I don't know, but I think
Chances,
Manchester City have got a lot of center backs who they can call in just in case Laporte is not playing,
yeah,
and so
Diaz, yeah,
Diaz is there.
yeah,
Everybody is there. They really invested in defense, and so
yeah.
if there's an area they should not be complaining is their defense, which to me should be okay. The only problem maybe these players coming in maybe will take time to gel in with the rest of the players.
Yeah, that's why I meant match fit. How fit are they? Because when I look at their midfield and striking, there's no weakness there. That's actually those guys will be cruising, and that's why today I'm praying that Henderson, actually Alexander Arnold, doesn't overlap that much. Let him give the passes, because you know very well the pace of Torres or Mahrez, those guys can interchange. If we're caught off guard, and what I'm hoping Klopp to do today, we shouldn't play high line defending or defending. If we do that, believe you me, first half we could have conceded or shelled in 3 goals.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And I can give you an example why. You look at when we were playing against Aston Villa, the likes of Grealish, what those guys did, even though those 3 goals were deflections, we were playing high midfield, defensive line. So when they're pushing, they were pushing the ball behind the defense. So when those guys are trying to reverse, actually you just shoot. This guy is going to turn. He could intercept the ball, but he doesn't know where he's clearing the ball to. So those are some of the things we need to avoid today. Mahrez is a good shooter. Actually, he shoots. He's one guy who can score a screamer. These are some of the things we need to actually, what I can say is we need to tighten our defense. What we could be playing is open up front and tighten at the back. So when we are attacking, we should be sure that are we able to narrow when we are trying to retrieve back. So those are some of the things I'm looking forward to see how Klopp is going to handle them today.
Okay, fair enough. And so I can see a situation where Man City might struggle to score goals simply because one, they're missing Aguero, and Jesus Navas has not really. It's not a player. It's not a player that you can compare with Aguero. It's miles,
Yeah,
miles behind Aguero.
Yeah,
And where do you think Man City goals will come from?
I'm looking at a situation that they will try to get the goals from the midfield, because very rare Sterling scores against Liverpool, because those boys back there, they're doing very well. This is the guy they stayed with. So, and again, what we need to avoid also is the fouls and also a lot of corners, because these guys could score from those places. But if they had someone who keeps scoring against us, we have never stopped him. Like Aguero, actually, I think all the encounters we have met this guy, he scores. And he scores very frustrating goals. And whenever Aguero scores, Liverpool doesn't win. And I also remember when we play against Man City, when Firmino scores, Man City doesn't win. And those are actually encounters that have happened when we play them against Champions League. They never win against Liverpool when we play Champions League. But when we go back to the league, I don't know what happens. And we're yet to win at Etihad. And the boys are going to Etihad to try to have a result. That's what I could say. Yes.
Okay. Another thing is that Mohamed Salah,
yes,
actually loves this fixture. Mohamed Salah loves this fixture involving Manchester City and Liverpool.
Yes.
What do you expect from him today?
What I'm expecting from Salah is to be composed and try to create opportunities for the rest. If it doesn't have to become selfish, because at the moment he's our top scorer, but I know he's worried about Jota, who has got 4 goals at the moment from actually 5 games. And Salah has got 7 goals, and even we have the mix of Sadio Mane. But what you need to understand is the most unselfish player we have in that team is Mane. But today, Salah could be selfish in a way because he needs to score. He needs to be the key figure in that team, of which could also cost us. But I expect him today to play well and also to try to shoot and also to try to create. There is a way he creates something from nothing. So if he's going to press, and actually the thing is to press that defense to bring a bit of obstruction or confusion to create another opportunities for the likes of Jota or Sadio Mane to score. So the role for Salah today is try to score and also to frustrate that defense line so that it can open up for other players from Liverpool to be able to score.
Okay, fair enough. And so we're looking at a Manchester City
Yes.
team. Of course, one of the factors that you can be attributed to their lack of goals is the lack of creativity, just like Arsenal. Because looking at Manchester City of last season,
Yes.
they scored a lot of goals. And one guy who was behind all those goals is one guy called David Silva, who is left the club. How much do you think Manchester City miss David Silva, especially going into this game?
They miss everything about David Silva, and I can give you 3 reasons why. That guy was very creative midfielder. He was a wonderful passer of the ball, and he was unselfish. So when I look at Manchester of today, all those midfielders are good, but all of them, they want to score. So, and that one is costing them. But again, I don't know why you are not mentioning this. Let us look at Sterling. Sterling was flying last season, and the likes of Aguero also. Sterling scored a lot of goals, but this time I think Sterling is not the form of his life. He has not reached his peak like he was last season. So as much as we're saying that Silva left, still Man City has wonderful players. But if De Bruyne plays today, we cannot say that creativity is not there in Man City, because there's some games Silva was not playing and he was stepping in for De Bruyne. And when De Bruyne was out for injury, actually Man City was squeezing and was scoring goals. And if De Bruyne plays today, even though they're saying is doubtful, I don't see a reason why I could say that there is no creativity. De Bruyne is the best midfielder we have actually in the Premier League, and is so good in all those things: passing, creativity, and having a ball from nowhere to somewhere. So I think Man City, what we could say is that up front they have been toothless, and this could be blamed to Sterling, has been playing all through. We cannot blame Jesus because he has been out of injury, he's trying to pick up. So tentatively we could say is that Sterling has to up his game, and if he ups his game, it is going to be a problem for Liverpool because Sterling is one guy who can harass the defense and push it very well. That way could create opportunities for other midfielders. You could expect maybe Mahrez to score from those places. And again, another thing Mahrez should look at is not just to shoot, to see is it appropriate time or opportunity for me to shoot. So in terms of creativity, I cannot blame Man City. But if they don't have that element of De Bruyne today in the midfield, like Silva left before, then we can blame that. But if I happen to see the Belgian at the midfield, creativity or midfield tenacity is 100%. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Perhaps if you could address the issue of the Man City's leaking defense, because we
Yes.
no longer have the defensive defenders. We no longer have company. We do not have any leadership in the Man City defense.
Yeah, actually, when Company left, that leadership was left with the Fernandinho, right? And is this guy, when you look at what he brings to the game, despite his age or the way he plays, He has been fantastic. He's one guy who actually obstructs those killer passes that are likely to trouble the defense. And when I look at Man City today, they don't have that midfielder, actually a defensive midfielder. If your defense is off guard, is caught off guard, he can step in. But what I said is previously, if you look at like the past 4 games, Man City have not conceded that much. That giving you that defensive-wise, they are a bit compact. There is a new element Diaz brings to the game. And also the kind of runs and actually stepping up to control and probable crosses that can trouble the defense. Kyle Walker is there. So, but they have not played a team like Liverpool. So today we want to see Man City has not been sucking in a lot of goals, but they are going to play a team that is free in scoring and also can be scored too. So when you look at their goalkeeper also is one of the best goalkeepers we have, but even if you are good and you don't have a good cover, any player, even if it's a defender, can score past you. So today I don't want really to just say that they are leaky until maybe after the 90 minutes, maybe we could have a recap of what we have seen in the game. Probably we could be able to say that they are leaking defense or maybe they are a bit shaky. But what I could say is over time, these guys are trying to pick themselves. They have accepted the reality that we had company. And actually, remember very well, actually, we could have won 2 Premier Leagues. It's only company who brought that destruction when he scored that screamer from about 25 yards last season. It was very painful to take. But the boys never gave up. They stepped up and actually we were able to deliver that trophy back. So they lack a leader, that's what I could say. But again, when you look at Laporte, is one guy who is so special in defense when he's fit. But I don't know how it can really coordinate well with that. Those are some of the things we're going to look at. But defense-wise, both teams, I can say, are not ready. So let's see what comes up. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
And we seem to have lost Steve, but maybe can catch up later on.
Yes.
Yeah, first, before...
You're a fan of which team?
No, today, I'd say today I'm on the Liverpool side.
Okay.
Yeah, because I cannot fathom supporting Man City.
I know you're a Manchester fan. Definitely
No,
that one tells me.
I'm an Arsenal fan.
Oh, you're an Arsenal fan?
Yes, but today I'll be supporting Liverpool.
Yes.
For the simple reason that Man City in the recent past,
yes,
they have really caused us some pain.
Yeah.
Infield and outfield, stealing our best players, the Arab money.
Yes.
Yeah, so for that reason, I don't think we knew it was a ship which would crash at some point.
Yeah.
But we are not sure if this is the season they crash or is the next season. But today, what I'd say,
Yes.
For me, I believe from if the recent performances can bear witness,
Yeah.
then Man City this season they would be struggling to finish top 4.
Yeah, and what I could add is that first of all, let me recommend the scouts we have for Liverpool. Who knew that Jota will come to Liverpool? None, right?
Sure.
And there is some aspect these guys saw. Let us get Jota. Let us get goals. Who knew that we could sign a guy like Wijnaldum from Newcastle when they were going down? The likes of Robertson with the Stoke when they are going down. But these guys are proven. Look at the likes of Shaqiri. If there is one guy who should be playing, it is Shaqiri. But again, and also another guy who should be playing actually, it's Minamino, because these guys, they bring a different aspect when they are playing. But again, when you look at the kind of talent and the kind of quality Liverpool has, these guys are so far so good. They've had very, very few minutes to play, but they have shown. If you look at, for instance, Shaqiri has only played twice, and the kind of back killer passes he gives, I don't think if there is a striker who will miss to score that. He just gives you ball to tell you score, just tap in. And I expect at some point also Shaqiri to come on board also to trouble that Manchester City defense. Shaqiri is one guy who is unpredictable. And also in terms of the investment Man City has done, if you look at Liverpool in the past 5 years, actually Klopp came, he has built a dynasty for himself. And it's a team that the players, they come at a cheaper rate, but they are transformed to be superstars. Some of the players that we might have bought a bit expensive is Van Dijk, of around 70. Also, we bought Fabinho of around 60. And also, I don't think Alson was that much. It was around 25. So, but when you look at these guys, they've got a new dimension to bring to the team. But again, Man City, what I could say is they have excess talent. You know, when you have excess talent in a team, nobody's stepping up because everyone is a superstar and they feel like even if I play whatever I want, still it can be workable. They want a mixture of a team where there are those some superstars. I can give you a free example. Look at Pogba. Pogba felt like he's so sure of himself. Nowadays, he doesn't even play. He's actually a penalty guy. You find him defending and you wonder what he's doing there, right? So that kind of leadership. First, when you look at Liverpool, is a team that, despite the superstars who are in that team, when it comes to playing, there is no superstar. You have to pass the ball. That's what at some point you see Mane and Salah. Mane asking Salah, why didn't you pass? This was our goal. But they're African guys, and we know they want to shine up there. But all in all, today it is going to be a very good game. In terms of midfield, both teams are okay. Defensive wise, that's where we have hitches. And expect more goals.
Expect more goals. Okay, so I have another question for you guys.
Yes.
Looking at Manchester City's team, where do you think it's lacking? Because Manchester City, to be honest, they're not looking like the Manchester City that won the championship the other season. Where is Manchester City lacking?
If I may, from my side, what I think the biggest predicament that the Man City side is facing at the moment is on leadership. Like I had said before, I'd said to my colleague Innocent, the issue is, you know, Man City, they used to have some solid players who could change the game, players who could guide these youngsters. We had the likes of David Silva. David Silva was there in the midfield. We had company in the defense. And I could say Aguero maybe as the striker. So now we are having a season whereby you have players like you are starting, the person you believe on is standing. You have standing outfield. You have Jesus outfield. These are players who they are still making some boyish mistakes. De Bruyne is trying to step up, but De Bruyne is not a leader. De Bruyne is just a player who wants to play football and go home. He's not interested in leading a team. For him, he just wants to play his game and go home. But when you used to have players like Fernandinho, despite the fact that Fernandinho would concede so many cards in a game, he used to provide some leadership to the team. Now these youngsters, once they're in the team, this transition has not been good for Pep. After sending these players, the retirements, the injuries, now he's been left with some youngsters who are too ambitious to understand that football is a teamwork thing. There are players who have ambitions of being stars or what, but they do not understand that they have to be guided. So there is no player who's guiding these people in the field. Now everybody is for himself, God for them all. So I think that is what is affecting Man City at the moment. Pep can shout from from his side as a coach, but you need that player in the team. You need that magic player in the team who's gonna tell somebody, look here, you have to man up. This is how we want to play this game. Even if the coach is saying ABCD, this is how I want us to play this system. But now is everybody in the team. Everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to perform. There's no leadership in the team. I think that is the biggest issue with Man City at the moment.
Can I come in?
Okay.
For me, is come on, look at these Man City players. The attitude itself. You just want to play and go. It's actually killing that team. Look at the team like Liverpool. Yes, Henderson, we know is not good. But that guy, whenever he's there, 90% of the games Henderson has played with Liverpool will never lose. And the majority of the games that Liverpool has lost is when Henderson doesn't play. You need that guy who could shout, telling you, be there, cover there, play that pass. Because the coach himself cannot serve the entire field. When you look at Man City, there is that attitude. It's not there. You realize that even some players at the midfield, someone loses the ball, doesn't even chase it. And that one becomes a burden to the defense. Another thing is the attitude comes like, do you want to look at individual attitude or you having the attitude that serves the rest of the team? When you look at those midfielders Manchester City has today, the reason why those goals are not coming, are they really passing the ball or they just want to score? There is a reason why you are a midfielder and there is a reason why others are strikers. Yes, you could see the opportunity to score. You only shoot when you see this striker cannot score. That's why tentatively I think Sterling is struggling. At the moment, he's playing as a default action. He's not a striker, but he's playing like a default number 9. But these guys are not passing. So if they change that attitude, I think it could be okay because all those players are good and we know the potential they had. Actually, they were machines. Look at the past 2 seasons. We tried as Liverpool, we could not actually patch it up. Yes, we were machines also, but do you know how painful it is to lose a league with 1 point? So this is the kind of Man City we want. And again, look at the other Premier League clubs. Actually, they have studied these 2 teams, Liverpool and Manchester City. Every team actually in the Premier League right now, they've got superstars. I can give you an example. Look at Everton. I don't know what is happening lately with them, but those guys have got good players. Look at West Ham. Look at Aston Villa. They are doing very well. Look at Leicester. So what we could say is that the players, they need to change that attitude and they need to be hungry with the ball, hungry to play. And sometimes I tend to blame Pep Guardiola. Even if you're a superstar, you don't have to play and you don't show anything at the field. Give the younger players a chance to play. Let them play. Look at Liverpool. If Wijnaldum is not playing well, who cares? Jones will play. Minamino is good, but he has not been given minutes the way Jota has been given. Because Jota has proven that, yes, we have Firmino, who is so quality, and most of the Liverpool fans and players look up to him. But I think I have something special I can bring to the game. If there is that something special every Man City player has, and they bring it to the game, I think that team will be unstoppable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, looking at the way the season is panning out, of course, almost all the teams, apart from what do you call it? Apart from Aston Villa, started slow. Teams losing games here and there, and many people, many fans came out saying, this is going to be a very strange season altogether. But right now, I think things are shaping up. Teams are going back to where they belong, and I don't know what is your general expectation of this season. Where do you think Liverpool can finish? If I may start with you, Innocent.
Liverpool will finish in the top 2.
Top 2?
Yes.
Top 2 meaning number 1 or number 2?
Yes, it's either they take it or they're number 2. Because
so who is in the mix?
And when in the mix, I'm under 1 and 2.
Uh-huh.
When I try to look at a team that can really challenge number 2 is Chelsea.
Uh-huh. Why do you think so?
Actually, they have brought quality and they have brought new faces, and these guys are patching up. Actually, they are trying to coordinate, and they are playing very well. When you look at Timo Werner, you look at Havertz, you look at Ziyech, the question has always been to me, I don't know what sometimes goes wrong with Lampard. There is no way you can bench Ziyech. Is one guy in terms of passes, is one guy who gives you a cross to score. You have seen the kind of passes he has been giving. And also, they have a leader, as Belqueta. Actually, their defense is not badly off. Actually, it's a team that has got leadership, a team that is players are showing to be hungry to win the matches. And when I look at that, and also their wonderful goalkeeper, actually, you've seen what Mendy is doing. Is that guy actually a goalkeeper wins you matches? The likes of Azebelanga, actually, Kepa is the reason why Chelsea lost those first points, actually. So when I look at their defense, the player attitude, and the will to win matches, that's why I give them a benefit of doubt also to challenge for position 2, but they cannot win the league.
The league is preserved
And
for...
and if I could also give other teams that could finish in the top 5. Lately, Tottenham is playing well. Even though they had challenges for the start of the season, they are patching up things. Actually, they are sanitizing and cleaning up. And another team that I thought will have top 5 is Leicester, but I've done away with it. I'm giving a benefit of doubt to Arsenal. But Arsenal, there are some things they need to change. I like how Arsenal plays. And sometimes you play a very colorful game than Liverpool. But you need to start winning matches. And can you try to play a bit ugly game? Because it's about winning. And over-reliance of Aubameyang. I think if there is one guy at the moment Arsenal should not be relying on is Aubameyang. The wonderful guys I'm seeing, the likes of Saka, that kid is special. If there is one player I was to sign from Arsenal, is Saka. Very special. And also we have the likes of Nketiah. Give those kids a chance to start. And believe you me, top 5 is yours. And when I look at Manchester United could say maybe they have been lucky in terms of penalties they get. But you cannot depend on penalties throughout the season. You will find a team that towards the end of the season, those bottom 3 teams that want to survive, they could frustrate you. So the first phase of the season is when you're supposed to amass more points as you can. That's why if you look at Liverpool and Manchester City, they know this first phase of the season. Let the worst be. You should hit more than 40 points. On the bad day, hit 32. So when you have such a kind of points, you're good to go. And when I look at, I've talked about Arsenal, Manchester, Leicester, Liverpool, Manchester City definitely among, it could be number 2 or number 3. So number 1, I'm giving a benefit of doubt Liverpool, and I'm not talking as a fan. No, what we are seeing is happening on the field. Number 2, I'm giving it to Chelsea. Number 3, I'm giving it to number 3, I'm giving to Man City. Number 4, I'm giving it to either Arsenal or Manchester United. And then number 5, I could give it to Tottenham.
Wow, that's fair enough. Moses.
Yes.
Now I'm back to you. The season is, of course, just as I asked Innocent, it started a bit sloppy. Teams, of course, the top teams have all lost games. And right now, I think things are trying to shape up. Where do you see the season? Okay, from what is happening, what do you make of the season right now? As in, where do you think these teams will finish towards the end of the season?
What I think the issue is, we are now having a paradigm shift from the way we know football to be. Initially we used to have fans in the stadiums, but now we do not have fans, and there are those traditional teams in which, when you know you go to a certain specific stadium, the environment there, the fans, how they welcome you, the noise they make, it used to disrupt some teams. In that, if you went to Anfield, they were the noisiest team in the Premier League. They say this Anfield. So when you're there, the fans, the environment, it used to be very tough for teams to garner a point from such a stadium. And it was the same situation for the traditional top four teams. With the teams which used to garner a mass fans in the stadiums. But when you look at small teams, you traveling to Stoke, you're going to Aston Villa, there were no fans in the stadium. These teams were used to playing without fans. Now we are having a situation whereby we have Corona, there are no fans in the stadium. The small teams, they are very comfortable because they are used to playing without fans. So now they are causing chaos. They are causing chaos. You see Newcastle, Southampton, you can see Aston Villa. They are causing chaos to the big teams who used to have that fanatic support in the stadium. Now coping with that has become an issue. But what I think, they're going to come back strong. Football is about the players who are on the pitch, not the 13th one. And talking about that, if I was to make my predictions, then I would not say which team is going to win the league. I could disagree with Innocent that Liverpool is going to win this season. For the reason that already when you look at, let's say, the past 10 seasons, for a team to win a Premier League season, they could lose a maximum of 3 to 4 games. That was the maximum a team loses in the season. And then in the first 10 games, these teams, they never lose a match. But when you are losing points in the first 10 games already, then you cannot count yourself as a team that is going to win that league. We could say you could try maybe to get the top 2 is talking about, but you cannot now be standing in a standpoint whereby you view yourself as a champion, or that this is our season. This season, what I think this season could happen. Chelsea, they have a strong shot at the Premier League, but without their coach, Lampard cannot deliver for the team. They need a new coach. If they could get a new coach, an experienced coach, then they have the squad to challenge for the cup. On the issue of Liverpool, they're going to struggle, but they want to win. Man City might not be top 4 this season. We expect new entrants. I can see Tottenham could be in the top 4. For Man U, that is a special case. They would be needing more than a miracle, because so far they haven't shown that they want to win. They haven't shown that they are challenging for anything. They're just participating. They are surviving. They've been there before. They are there now. They are not going to be top 4. Man U is not in the top 4. They could struggle to be in the Europa League. It is possible, and it is going to occur. Then another team that could be a surprise team this season is Leicester. Despite the fact that they've had a season whereby they haven't performed to our expectations, but they have been consistent. You can see what the way their nature, their gameplay, despite even if they lose, you can see there is a concrete team playing in a certain system. Losing is okay. Teams do lose, but how is the team playing? How are they losing? Did they wake up from what they performed last time to do better today? So Leicester, for me, they've been consistent. Leeds could be in Europa next season because they have already faced the top teams, and they have come up like a team that is willing to challenge. They are playing. They are not just sitting back saying this is Liverpool, this is a big team, we just sit back, defend. No, they're taking the challenge to you. So what I think this season is going to be, maybe after some time, let's say if things could get back the way they used to be, if maybe we could get fans back into the stadium, it could change the way the season could go. But in the meantime, teams are going to struggle to get points. The traditional teams that used to have fans in the stadium, the support, without that support, these teams are going to struggle so much.
Okay, so before you go, so what do from your own evaluation, who do you think is gonna make top 4 or top 6, if I may put it that way?
Top 6 in no particular order. Number 1, I give it to Chelsea, but I'm not saying they are going to win, but I think they could win. Chelsea is going to be in the top 6. Tottenham is going to be in the top 6. Liverpool is going to be in the top 6. Arsenal could be a surprise entrant into that top 6. I hope they will. Then we are going to have Leicester. Leicester is going to be there. Then between Leeds and Man U, one of them is going to make top 6. But Man U is going to struggle.
They're going to struggle.
Yes.
So who are the stakes right now? Of course, I know the season is still it's still early in the season, and you cannot really say who is gonna win the Premier League. But who do you think has the stakes as it stands right now?
As it stands, I don't want to say Liverpool is going to win. I don't want to give my friend any hope.
Okay.
Yeah, but they have a clear chance, which I doubt they're going to take. Yes.
Come in.
Okay.
I like the clear mindset of Musa, and that's how pundits are. That's why we talk about football. Let me tell you, this is where the stakes are, why Liverpool can win this league. How do they perform when they face Chelsea? How do they perform when they face Man City? When they face Arsenal? When they face Leicester? And when they face Manchester United? If they're able to amass at least 70% points from these top 6 teams, it is done. So far, Liverpool has played Arsenal, right? Liverpool has played Chelsea, right? And all those occasions, Liverpool got the points. So the thing we're looking at, if we were to give Chelsea this big chance, how is Chelsea going to perform among the top 6? Because we know the rest, it can win all, but how do you perform among the top 6? How do you perform, maybe for instance, against Arsenal? How do you perform against Leicester? And there is a team here you are not talking about when they are facing these top 6 teams. Everton, they are very naughty. Winning against them, that's the time Ancelotti plays the game among the big boys who are the top 6. Well, we may win it or we may not win it, but there's one team I have to agree with you. Chelsea has a shot in it. That's why I said number 2 could be Chelsea or Man City. But for now, the odds are having it from our punditry conversation that Chelsea have got the shot. And what Liverpool need to do is to assess how Chelsea plays and also to assess themselves. Liverpool need to win games when they're playing these top 6 teams. From there, they will stand a chance. But if Liverpool does lose points when they're playing these top 6, the thing is, at least home games, they need to win all of them and maybe have 3 or 4 draws away. Then they're good to go. And maybe 2 wins. That one could work better. But if they're going to lose these matches and Chelsea is winning these matches among the top 6 teams, Chelsea will have a shot on it. So we'll be looking at how Chelsea plays against Man U, Liverpool, Manchester City, Leicester, and Tottenham. If they are going to do exemplary well, they have the day. But I'm also a bit not agreeing with you when you are saying that Arsenal will need a miracle to finish top 6. That's what you said.
No, I
Those
said Manu.
those are good.
I said Manu is going to need more than a miracle, not just a miracle, more than a miracle to finish top 6.
Yeah, but this team you call Leeds, those guys actually, they are, you know, when they were playing Liverpool, teams have mastered them. Those guys have got the best forwards and the midfielders, but they don't defend. They cannot, it will be very hard for them even to make top 10, maybe 12. They cannot finish ahead of Everton, believe you me. They cannot finish ahead of Aston Villa. No, those guys, I give them number 12. They will not be relegated, but they cannot finish top 10.
Okay, fair enough. Now, I think we should bring this to a close. I think we have had our time. And before we do, what is, of course, the team news is not yet out, but which is our the best 11, combined 11 going into this game? Starting from the goalkeeper, I will start with Musa. Who is the better goalkeeper in this? We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you. Can
Unmute.
No, we cannot hear you still.
Unmute is muted actually.
Let me write to him. Okay, now you are good. Now
Yes.
we can hear you now. Okay, so tell us, you are goalkeeper for the day.
I go for Addison.
You go with Alisson.
Yes.
Innocent.
Alson.
Okay, we're going with the formation of 4-3-3 to make things easier for us. And so
Yes.
right back.
Right back, I go for Walker.
Right back, Innocent.
Walker.
Okay, left back.
I go for Robertson.
We are good to go.
Okay, right center back, right full back.
I go for Gomez.
Innocent. The right full back actually, not center. Right center back actually.
It's a bit tricky, but Gomez has been good.
Okay, left center back.
I go for Laporte.
That is if he's available.
Yes. He is.
What about it? What about Innocent?
Laporte is playing.
No, that's in case he's available.
I don't know, but if he's playing, then he takes it. But if give it to Laporte. Yeah.
Okay. Now we are moving ahead. We are at the center of the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
We have three guys there. One
Yes.
at the one at the right, one at the left, and one at the center.
Mm-hmm.
So who do you go with at the right?
At the right, I'll go for De Bruyne.
Mm-hmm.
The left, I'll go for. I think I'll go for. Yeah, I don't see Genie doing anything there. I'll go for. Is it Ford?
Foden?
Foden. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then
The center?
The center, I'll go for Henderson.
Wow. and De Bruyne. What about Musa? Who do you go with?
At the center,
Mhm.
at the center, I'd go for Milner if he is available today.
Mhm.
Then to my right, I'd go for De Bruyne.
Mhm.
And to the left, I'd go for Foden.
Left to go for Foden.
Yes.
Why are you guys taking people like Cancelo? Why are you taking people like Rodley? Are you trying to say that Foden is better than those guys?
You know, what we are looking at, the past games, the player performance. When you look at these guys, they have been fantastic. And even though they have been the first 11, what is the statistics of a player per game? And when you look at Foden, you look at De Bruyne, you look at my friend said Milner, and I can tell you Milner is not starting. He cannot start. He comes in as a sub, and I don't even okay. He's a good player, but we need a bully at the midfield. That's why I'm talking about Henderson. Actually, he's one guy who's so quiet, but it does work at the midfield. And if I go for the front three, Man City flops. They don't have any. Everything comes from Liverpool.
Maybe Innocent, you
Can
can
you
come
hear me?
closer to the microphone because we're not getting you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, right. I think you are audible enough. So you guys are going for Foden.
So yeah, and the front three now. At the left, I'll go for Salah. At the right, I'll go for Mane, and definitely there is this guy who is in the form of his life, a goal machine, Jota.
So in the front, we're going with Salah,
Jota and
Mane. And who is the other one?
We have Salah left, right Mane, and the center forward is Jota.
So it's a Liverpool affair in the front line.
So now give us the number of players. We have made our first 11. Which players are dominant? Maybe you could have recorded. Tell us who are dominant. Which team is dominating?
I haven't given my forward yet.
Yeah,
okay.
Give your forward.
Musa will give us his front line before we can come to that and maybe finish up.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, basing on the recent performances in the Premier League, I'd bench Salah for Mahrez. So I'm going to have Mahrez, I'm going to have Mane, and then I'm going to have Firmino.
Hey, that's a new one.
So the thing is, like, Sterling is not featuring anywhere in this team.
I wonder why Musa has not featured Sterling. You should tell us. Me, I've got my own reservations.
Okay, if you ask me, I kind of agree with you. With the players who've gone with the front line. If you ask me, I would go with the front line is a bit debatable because that's where both teams have good players in. Looking at Liverpool, having Salah, having Jota, having Firmino, having Mane, same place. It is a big challenge even for the managers to select that team from there. Looking at Man City, they don't have a lot of options right now.
Can I come in before you conclude?
No, I'm not concluding. I will come back to you just a moment. Okay. And Man City, if Aguero was in the picture, the thing maybe this could have made things a bit complicated. But now Aguero is not there, and I'm not seeing a situation where Jesus Navas is going to start his game. If he starts, then maybe because Man City have no any other option. And so the two guys from Man City I know is Sterling and these are the Mahrez. And for me, Mahrez cannot start over Salah. He cannot start over Mane. And so I'll go with Sterling. Now at the center, I'll go with Jota, and at the right, I'll go with Mane. That is the best I can choose. Yeah. So I'm back with you, Innocent. Maybe before we finish up, you have something to say.
Actually, what I could say is that I'm a bit concerned about Musa when he's choosing Mahrez ahead of Salah. Look at the number of goals Salah has. How many does Mahrez have?
If I was to respond to that.
And remember, the top scorer for Man City, there are only two players. That is Sterling and Foden with 2 goals each.
You have to consider the amount of minutes or game time each player has been given. For Mahrez, I think he's been unlucky. He isn't Pep's favorite starting forward because Pep prefers players like Sterling. Unlike Mahrez, Mahrez is just a clinical player who has specialized in a certain form of play. It is the same play of, let's say, a player like Sane, the one Pep just sold to Bayern, where he's actually performing. And Mahrez, before he came to Man City, was the player of the season for that Leicester winning team. And for each and every game that Mahrez has been given by Pep, he has performed. So I think for me, it's just a unlucky player who's in a system which does not want him. But given that game time, given that specific role to play in the team, he can perform more than any other player in the Premier League at the moment in that position, because he has proved it before in a small team. So why can't he prove it when he's playing for Pep?
Wow. Okay, guys, let's finish it. Let's finish this up. And I think we have talked much. We cannot actually exhaust everything in one meeting. Maybe we'll schedule another meeting, maybe the coming weekend, so that we talk about more about now maybe the outcome of this game and many other things that might have happened during the week. And so it's my pleasure having you, and thank you for creating time for this show. And before I go, your predictions.
I go for 3-2.
You go, your predictions.
Myself, I go for 3-2.
3-2 Liverpool.
In favor of Liverpool.
Musa.
4-1 in favor of Liverpool.
4-1 Liverpool?
Yes.
Wow. I see I see 1-1. I see a draw in this game. I don't know. I see a draw in this game. And so may the best team win, and maybe we'll be able to catch up after the game. Thank you. If you have not subscribed, please do so. And of course, in this, you'll get a link. This you will share to your WhatsApp group, to share with your Facebook groups, wherever you are. Maybe many people will be able to see what we've been doing for the past 2 hours. Thank you, guys. Let's talk after the game.
Thank you. Bye.